G'day YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's Verdant video on YouTube. And today I'm going to be showing you around of what's been updating so far for early August. Unfortunately, the sunflower seedling I tried to grow has basically, as you can see, oh my goodness me, it's actually pulled apart, which is not really great to see. And I think it's probably because it has failed. And the reason why it has been failing so much is because, well, with sunflowers, they seem to straightforward fail and grow at times, given of how much bending they do. And I think the amount of bending has to do with how much water the plant really has received. And I think the more water you accumulate far too much often, the more the plant will potentially bend. Now, I'm not sure if this is a common syndrome amongst many other plants. But let me go ahead and take a look at what I'm going to see. So we've got a whole bunch of nasturtiums. There's one of the sunflower seedlings, which has been successful still. There's actually a very huge, vast swathe of nasturtiums that I'm also going to talk about, because I'm also going to talk about harvesting nasturtiums, because obviously it's that time of the year where nasturtiums are nearly coming up to their dying phase. As we head towards September and October, but we are still straightforward in August, which is of course the very last month of summer, and the wettest month out of all of the summer months. The wettest summer month, obviously, out of all of the summer. I'll just say it. Okay, let's not go there, because I won't probably make a very good sense of what I'm blabbering here. Of course, as you've just seen so far, we've got some dandelions and cosmos. This cosmos here has been highly successful. There'll be more blossoms coming out as the season progresses. That flower has straightforward totally wilted. But there's actually even more cosmoses. A lot of crows squawking and cawing in the background. And apart from what I can see, there's a cat that's actually appearing in my backyard garden. Hello. Hello. Do you want to actually come along and see me? Not sure about you, but this cat really loves to be interacted here. Oh, it's so nice to see you there. Strange enough, this cat has decided to appear in my backyard garden. It's obviously coming up towards nearly autumn time. It's the late part of summer, as I can definitely tell. We've only got about a few more weeks before summer ends, and we've got a helicopter coming in the background here, right? And strange enough, that cat, as you can definitely tell, I'd have to say the amount of fur has been straightforward shedded. And actually, yes, if you look closely on that cat, it may seem black and white, but have you actually realised that cats like this colour, and also black cats, if you have any black and white cats, or black cats in general, they will often tend to venture outside, and the more they venture outside, the more this colour actually fades from black to a bit of a deep brown looking colour, like here. And the crow's taking over the whole video. But, yes, as you can see, that cat has actually got a bit of brown fur, and it's all to do with the sunlight. It's pretty much how human skin sort of behaves in its way. It is sort of similar into that type of feeling, I guess, because when cat skin is exposed to sunlight, their skin turns lighter. And that cat is straightforward snuggling and cuddling right next to my feet. Somehow, it's the nice thing I can see here about this cat. And it's a bit different to... Oh, okay. A bit different to a dog, because a cat's tail, as you can see here, it may seem to look like it's wagging, but it's actually swaying from side to side. There you go. That cat is straightforward quite contented with what I've got. And it looks like it's contending on my feet and my legs. How weird is that? I seem to have a bond with cats, as funny as this sounds. Oh well. Lovely little fur of yours. Don't know how much you'll be shedding at this point here, eh? Looks like you'd be sniffing on my skin. It's quite interesting with cats. They always seem to be around with those who know to bond with cats. Fairly nice. And there's actually a bit of white fur that's also poking out right over. It's like the neck collar of the cat. It's actually quite an amazing cat. And I tell you what, we've actually got quite a lot of cats right in our backyard garden. And as you can see, the feather debris, as you might have seen earlier on this week, there was a lot of dead pigeon feathers, and probably from what I can work out, I just hope it's not you. honestly, we won't get into that subject later on because we've moved on. And that cat is sniffing on some very weird pigeon feathers. Oh man, and that cat. Oi! What are you doing to my skin? Are you straight for buffing it right over with your forehead? And that cat, strange enough, really loves a good strike. And it's not my cat, it's actually someone else's cat, obviously. And we don't need to show you bum, cat. Obviously, we can give you the tail on the flick. Obviously, that's quite the, Oh, what are you doing? Are you trying to slash at me? But, oh, wow. What are you doing? Are you trying to... What are you doing? Are you trying to smack at me? Oh, man. I don't know if I'm playing rough with that cat. Right. I shall straightforward let you go without showing your bum here. Yes, so I've got a bit of a pussycat interruption here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to straightforward tour around the backyard garden along with the cat that has been around in my backyard garden. Seems like that feline is actually quite curious about my shed somehow. But nevertheless, we've got lots and lots of big clumps of nasturtiums. Lots and lots of nasturtiums. We've got lots of dandelions right here. And of course, one of the cosmos flowers are still blossoming quite nicely, especially this one here. This one here is actually doing very good. And I know when cosmos is straightforward wilt their flowers, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bit of a problem somehow. I start to see it as something totally different. It's still got the pollen. It's wilted its own petals. For some reason, this cosmos has actually started to grow a very thin-looking stem. And I don't know how long these petals are going to last for. Probably not for long. I mean, who knows? It's also quite small to have a cosmos blossoming here. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I might straightforward show you something later on with the nasturtiums. Okay, we've got some zinnias. There's another zinnia here. Okay, I think we're going to deal with a pink flower. It's a very nice looking zinnia, and in fact we might get more zinnias with pink flowers later on as time goes by. There might be different colours of zinnias as time goes by, maybe yellow, white, like a limey greenish type yellow, probably red, orange. There might be different colours of zinnias coming right up because, and the cat is straightforward right here. You never know what's going to come. And as I can also see, we've got a potato plant that's also growing in the backyard garden, and we've also got a tomato plant. In fact, a couple of tomato seedlings that have actually started to grow. And if you know your species of nightshade, there's actually a bit of a difference. There's the potato. What's interesting is that if I look at the potato leaves, they do sort of look very similar, but noticing it's more of a regular leaf, whereas the tomato plants have got a bit of a maple sort of leaf going around here. I might be totally wrong here. They do look sort of similar. Oops, sorry, I've just turned the brightness on. That was my bad. Interesting. You know what's actually quite nice about tomatoes and potatoes is that because they're in the same genus and because they look very similar, people have actually made very clever hybrids. Have you ever tried a pomoto or basically maybe how would you call it? A totato? Don't know if that will work, eh? Or tomtato. Anyways, so yes, we've got the vast swath of nasturtiums right here. And it looks like we haven't got any more flowers in our backyard garden. And as you can see, there hasn't been many flowers. But what I'm also seeing is more blossoms, more buds of the several nasturtiums that I've been planting. And as you can see, just how fast time has gone by, the nasturtiums have actually started to take over like wildfire. And you can actually see that within a huge time-lapse basis, because of how much we have come through, we have came through all the way across, spring and towards summertime. Look at the whole garden. It has just turned into a very vast nasturtium grove. It is just stunning to see. And as I'm going to walk around, we've got more zinnias, more tomato seedlings, and other whatnot. Is that a tomato seedling? I think it is. That small one, I think. And then we've also got a sunflower seedling here, which I could try and transplant one day. there's more nasturtiums here, and it's pretty much like the last of what we've got with pollinating insects, because we've got September and October to come up with, and by November these plants might potentially die off, and the cat has decided to come along and play with me. Who knows about that, hey? One of that cat really likes to be, what if you straightforward lie down and do that little slash thing? Please don't slash at me, actually. Don't know how good or bad that this cat is. And your bum is also exposing. Somehow I never knew about that. It's interesting with cats, they all seem to be fairly inquisitive. I don't know if I like it stroking or not. Or maybe this cat doesn't really like to be stroked or not far too often, because obviously it's not my cat. And it looks like it's wandering across through my backyard garden. I hope you're not treading over my garden plants. I spent weeks, doing a lot of hard work on it. And I hope you're not pooping on it. I'm sure the flies might know that you're doing it purposely. You black and white freak. But anyways, this cat is actually quite lovely. And it's been sitting around for basically years. I hope you're not pooping there. What are you doing? And I can hear some birds right outside here. Looks like this cat is straightforward. Oh my god! Why is your bum showing there? Is your little bum showing? I'll probably get demonetized for that. And oh my gosh, not gonna lie, this cat is seemingly on the move, hunting for prey. Obviously, they like to kill birds. But I don't know what's going on with that cat. Strange enough, it feels somewhat totally and utterly different to be around in the backyard garden at this time, because hey, normally I'll be up in my room and doing other kinds of weird stuff and other whatnot, and this cat has straightforward decided to take over the rest of my video. And in fact, quite a few cats have been quite relatively shy, as funny as this sounds. But anyways, let me just go through away from the cat and let's take a look at other stuff. So we've got lots and lots of nasturtiums. In fact, big clumps of nasturtiums, as you can somehow see. And yes, we've got some flowers here, but what I'm also going to see is the seeds, and I'll try and show you the seeds later on in this video. So we've got some more zinnia plants like that. Whoa, checking my way through. And the cat has straightforward decided to get out from here. And yes, I got that nice cat tower for the cats to come along and play with outside if they want to. And apart from the cats, I'm also starting to see some more flowers. Look at the very huge, vast wave of flowers. Now, I've actually totally forgot their names. And then we've also starting to see some wheat that's also decided to grow right in my backyard garden. Ain't that pretty unusual to have wheat in the backyard garden? And once again, those stupid goddamn blackberry thorns have also decided to pop out. Why haven't they decided to clear it out? I think, by the looks of it, that's very lethal and dangerous. By the looks of those nasty spikes and sharp looking edges, it's just really horrible. But anyways, apart from the dangerous spikes that are taking over my space, yes, we've got lots and lots of different flowers. There's these blue ones here, which I forgot the name of. I might probably take a very good photo of if I have some time. Then I also see these weird, tiny looking purple flowers, which I've got no idea, but I'm actually very proud on the way I've grown my backyard garden with. In fact, there's just so much of it here. There's just so much of it growing right over here. In fact, I can't seem to stop. And yes, I feel so proud of the way these plants have decided to grow here. I'm so glad. Like, the number of plants I'm just growing here, it is just massive. And we've also got some onions and also some parsley. Now, I didn't pick up as much parsley as I initially thought I'll be doing. I don't think I've actually picked off any parsley. I don't know. Now, here's my thing about parsley. They don't really grow that really tall. That's the one thing you may have actually have noticed about parsley. They don't actually grow really tall. It's just what they are. But I'm also going to show you, there's some onions right here. In fact, there's a couple of onions. There's quite a few onion plants right there, and there's a very strange looking plant, which I've got no idea whatever the hell that thing is. There's the wild cabbage, which looks like it's only got one flower. There's not much blossoms left for the wild cabbage. And if I have a look, there's not much left. I think it's all what's left is just beans. And the helicopter is still whirring in the background. I don't know why. And then we've also lost a little, I think it looks like an orange flower blossom or something. It's interesting that this flower here has totally seen better days. I think I got it during 2024, and it's now straightforward, no longer flowering. Pretty nice to know. And I'm just walking around anywhere. I also did straightforward clear off a lot of like old plants and stuff that don't need to be seen. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and show you the nasturtiums and what is going on here. Oh man, I feel like, you know, I think I've got pollen right over my tablet. I feel like that this garden has been totally neglected. You know what I feel like? I just don't give a damn about people leaving out just so much nasty blackberry shrubs filled with spikes that are just straight for potentially waiting for me to be dead, or even my t-shirt to be straight for deteriorated. Honestly, I've been making gardening videos for a long period of time, and there's a lot of pollen right over my flippin' t-shirt. I don't know what's going on here, but yes, I could tell what the guys say. The amount of gardening I've been doing, it's been quite chronically massive, and it's quite embarrassing when I've got a lot of pollen right over my freaking t-shirt. How weird is that? Especially around my sleeves. Okay, there's my reflection here. Not sure if you want to see me. Hi. How weird is that? Anyways, so apart from the plants I've just shown you around here, I'm just going to straightforward show you the nasturtiums and how you're going to really harvest them. It's around late summer, and it has just started to rain just a little bit. But if it chucks down really badly, I might have to probably venture out into the home here. I need to venture back inside because it will be really, really bad if there's like some rain coming out really badly and that sort of stuff. And anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at some nasturtiums and see what we have. And remembering nasturtiums are very, very vastly grown plants, and as you can see, you can eat the leaves and the flowers. They are surprisingly somehow edible if you really want to go for it. But what I'm going to be doing is to harvest nasturtiums, and if you look around right over amongst the overgrowth of nasturtiums, you might be lucky or able to see just a few seeds popping right out from the undergrowth of where the nasturtiums have been growing. And I'll tell you what, that helicopter is buzzing around right over my background for a long period of time. I don't know why. But anyways, so yes, if you're going to go ahead and find some nasturtium seeds, just straightforward start digging around very gently, being very careful not to deteriorate. There's actually one of them here. Normally they just grow up to like clusters of three seeds, and there you go. That's one of the big nasturtium seeds that I found. I'm pretty sure it's the best time to pick off nasturtium seedlings, but I might be totally wrong, or seeds more appropriately. So I should have said the word seeds and not seedlings, because they're not fully grown just yet. I'm going to go up towards the other side right here, but do I see any more seeds? No, I'm not yet totally sure, but let's go ahead and have a go underneath. I'm just going to put it on my pocket, one of the nasturtium seeds, and there you go. Oh, what's that? You again? Oh, give me a break. And there's a plane flying in the background here, and that pussycat is straightforward roaming around like mad. Wonder what's it doing here. Oh my gosh, what the hell are you doing here? Right over my backyard garden. Seems like you're prowling around for whatever prey is going to be around. It feels like you're quite curious. What a very curious looking cat. There's actually so many like hoverflies and bees and wasps today as well too, even though it's been quite relatively cool outdoors, because we are about to experience some wet weather. But let me just straightforward find more nasturtium seedlings. I'm going to straightforward seeds. I'm going to keep digging around. They do start off relatively quite small, but if you're very lucky, you can actually get one of these. Ah, you see that? There's actually quite a few big amount of seeds. I'm going to go very, very gently. One of the biggest tricks is to not tread on the seeds themselves, not to tread on the big plants themselves, because if I do tread on them, they will straightforward die, which I really don't want. So there you go, I picked a healthy clump of just 2 seeds clustered together. Basically, they're just fused together. I'll try not to break them, but you can just straightforward split them apart if you want to. And then I think one of the best things you have to do is apart from the fact you just start harvesting them pretty much early, although you can harvest them as early as August or late July, the best time I'd probably do my best, and there's a lovely little bumblebee who has decided to buzz towards my flower here. The best time you would actually decide to try and harvest your nasturtiums is probably around, I would say, mid to late summer and autumn as well. So I think it's a very good time to go ahead and start harvesting some nasturtiums if they are growing like little seeds. And there's a nasty wasp, so I'm just going to be very careful as I'm filming here. Right, we've got more nasturtium seeds, and often they grow in these weird looking funny stems. Okay, so they do start to grow some of these weird looking stems. I'll try not to damage the plant itself. And there you go, you get like 2 healthy looking seeds. I could put them in the bag, but then I probably wouldn't do so, because there is another step that what you can do with these nasturtium seeds is probably store them for basically months' time during autumn and winter. And I can't really see any more seeds right here. Quite curious about the way nasturtiums have decided to pop out like this because of me. I'm just going to go up towards this side here. They do exponentially grow very well, because I could tell you what, the growing conditions of nasturtiums so far this year have been very, very favourable. And look at that, you've actually got more clusters of seeds right there, and that's what I'm seeing here. I think that really occurs just after a very good succession of growth. Oh, man, why do I really say badly here? There you go, there's more seeds right here, and hopefully as time goes by, the more flowers, the more growth I'm starting to see with nasturtium, the more seeds that are easily starting to pop out right over at the undergrowth. And as you can see, it's almost like any nook and cranny you look, there is a nasturtium seed wherever you go. Look at that, just a couple of healthy looking nasturtiums. Now that is very nice to see. Going around here, there's actually quite a lot of nasturtium seeds right inside here. Trying to dig around. My only suggestion is don't pick nasturtium seeds when they're that small. And I think the bigger the nasturtium seeds, the more chances they might start to grow, or possibly the more chances your nasturtiums will actually be successful to germinate. The best part is that you can actually store them for months in a cool, dry spot. And actually, I've broken my nasturtium plants as I'm harvesting along the way here, because I am preparing for the next generation of nasturtiums for the next year or so. And the helicopter is still buzzing outside, hey, but I'm still working my way in. There's another cosmos flower right here. Don't think I can see any seeds. And here, I don't think there is. But I am fairly successful of what I've grown so far. But let's take a look at this one. This section right here. Have I grown any more seeds? Oh, yes I have. There's actually quite a few more big, nice clumps of seeds. And look, they've just came up really, really loosely apart, even though they've just grown fused together. Thank goodness for that. Thank you so much. Thanks to me, actually, because I'm the one who's responsible growing the nasturtium here. And strange enough, it used to have big, chunky looking leaves, but now look at this. It's all just small leaves now. Now, I wonder why. Is it because of the caterpillars and all the other insects who have decided to devastate my backyard garden, like aphids? Or, I don't know. It's just how I seem to run my backyard garden somehow at times. Definitely not seeing that many seeds. That's one thing I'll tell you. Yes, it's mainly just... man... It's mainly just the whole plant itself and also their flowers. But I am straightforward very curious to see whether there's more flowers, or actually more seeds in the backyard garden. Like there's more right here. There's another one right here. The more you look, the more you see. That's all I can really see. That's okay. I somehow look at that. You're most likely going to find them right straightforward here. And I tell you what, harvesting nasturtiums at this time hasn't been very straightforward, bad at all. I mean, look at that. And I mean, even though it's a little bit, a bit of a juxtaposition, because you don't know where you're going to find the seeds and stuff. But I might as well just show you the seeds when I'm straightforward back. I'm just straightforward still hawking around for seeds. I'm still foraging for seeds still. Don't think I see them anymore now. Maybe if I try on the other hand. And boy, my other hand that I've been holding my tablet has been very, very painful. And look, there's more seeds. There you go. There's actually quite a few more seeds. There you go. Once you start to plug out more seeds and plonk the bigger ones, there's a very good chance that they might start to grow really, really big. Now, I'm not sure if I'm getting the rule behind growing nasturtium seeds correct. And there was another clump right over there here too. And this one here as well. We've got a noisy helicopter in the background, hey? That's why this video is a bit rough and ready. And I can't even see the helicopter. I don't know where it was, but I think it's just buzzing around somewhere, I feel like. But anyways, so here are the nasturtiums. There's a little bit more seed clusters right here. That's also spawning. But I'm actually very proud of what I've got so far. And do you know what? I'm so far done collecting a lot of nasturtium seedlings. Actually, little baby seeds. And oops, I think I'm treading on the leaves, which is not a very good sign to see. But I'm doing a fairly good job. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pick these, even though they're quite relatively small. But there you go. This is how I'm going to... And I've just farted! No way! But that is about it, guys. I've actually decided to collect... I think that's about it. I've actually collected all of the seeds that the nasturtiums have started to birth with. And yes, they usually do this at this time of the year, but hey, it can really depend on how much time I've really have spent to grow those nasturtiums here. Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're very prolific flowers, very, very simple to grow. And not too bad is what I can really say. And there's more nasturtium seedlings like that, but I might as well pick the bigger ones. Usually the bigger, chunkier seeds will always be located at the very bottom of what I've grown. The very bottom level, as you can see here, there's more of that as well. Look at this, guys. There's actually quite a lot of nasturtium seedlings that I've decided to harvest, and that is actually quite a very healthy looking clump. I can just brush out some of the, oh man. Okay, so this is how much I've been picking off. Lots and lots of big nasturtium seeds right there, and there's even more. Tell you what, there's actually just so much of it. Man, that's amazing that the amount of nasturtium seeds that I've collected has been rather significantly high. Now, I think the best thing I'm going to do is probably store them at a cool, dry spot. And I'll tell you what, that helicopter has been buzzing around for hours. And boy, am I not surprised about that. So there you go, that was just me explaining about how to collect nasturtium seeds. And I think to get rid of other obstacles that are trying to, how would you say it? I don't know what to really say. That, you know, if there's anything that is trying to obstruct the seeds, best thing to do is to try and wash it off with water. Although I wouldn't do so. But I'm not showing it through camera because I don't want my tablet to get destroyed. But there you go. I've just harvested a very good clump of nasturtiums. Maybe I need to have a very good prolific video on how to do this. But anyways, I'm going to straightforward end the video here. It's been half an hour of making this video so far. I never thought I'd be showing you how to harvest nasturtiums. You can put them in the jar if you want to store them up in a very cool dry spot for them to actually turn brown. And I think the more they turn brown, the more they start to look like the nasturtiums that you find in like seed packets when you go to like garden centers and that sort of stuff. And also, collecting seeds also helps to save you money. So you don't need to go back to the stores and buy more nasturtiums to sow for the next year. Anyways, that's probably about it for today's video on YouTube. So if you really enjoyed about how I've decided to harvest my nasturtium seedlings, please give the video a very good like so, subscribe more for that videos in the future, and as always, Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.